Are you truly in control of your happiness? Have you ever felt it? That familiar, unsettling lurch in your stomach, the sudden clenching of your jaw, the invisible knot tightening in your shoulders? It's that moment when something utterly trivial, completely outside of your control, abruptly hijacks your mood and threatens to derail your entire day. Picture this: you're cruising along, maybe on your morning commute, feeling pretty good. You've got your coffee, your favorite podcast is playing, and you're mentally ticking off your to-do list, feeling prepared for whatever the day holds. Then, without warning, the car in front of you slams on its brakes, or someone aggressively cuts you off, or perhaps you hit an unexpected, monstrous traffic jam, halting your progress. Suddenly, that calm serenity evaporates. Your heart races. A flash of irritation, then anger flares up, hot and immediate. You grip the steering wheel tighter. You mutter under your breath, perhaps even shouting at the offending driver or the stalled traffic. And just like that, the peaceful, promising start to your day is gone, replaced by a lingering resentment, a sour taste that might follow you all the way into your first meeting, casting an undeniable shadow over your productivity, your decision-making, and your interactions with colleagues. Or perhaps it's an email. You open your inbox, ready to tackle the day's tasks with focus and determination, and there it sits: a brusque, poorly worded message from a colleague, a seemingly innocuous but subtly passive-aggressive complaint from a customer, or even a notification about an unexpected, hefty bill. It's just text on a screen, a few lines of data, yet it has an almost magical, disproportionate power to pierce your carefully constructed composure. One moment you're focused, the next you're distracted, rereading the email again and again, replaying the perceived slight or injustice, feeling your stomach twist into knots of anxiety or indignation. Your precious mental energy, which you needed for more important, value-creating endeavors, is now siphoned off, consumed by an external event that, in the grand scheme of your life, truly means very little. Sound familiar? Be honest with yourself. How often do these everyday annoyances, these minor inconveniences, these petty frustrations dictate your emotional landscape and determine the quality of your entire day? How frequently do you find your inner peace, your sense of well-being, held hostage by a delayed train, a slow internet connection, a thoughtless comment from a stranger, or even just the sudden change in weather? Do you ever feel like you're constantly reacting, perpetually bouncing from one external stimulus to the next? Your happiness a fragile leaf tossed about by every passing breeze, completely at the mercy of circumstances beyond your direct command. It's a sensation of profound powerlessness, isn't it? This gnawing feeling that your emotional state isn't truly yours to command, but rather a volatile entity swayed by the unpredictable, often chaotic currents of the outside world. It's as if you wake up with good intentions, ready to embrace the day with purpose, only for some minor external trigger to pull the rug out from under you, leaving you feeling frustrated, defeated, and utterly drained, perhaps even before noon has even struck. Your day, your precious mental space, has been effectively hijacked by something utterly beyond your direct control, something that you didn't choose to engage with, but now dominates your thoughts. And in our hyper-connected, fast-paced modern world, these triggers are not only constant, they're practically unavoidable, an inescapable barrage. But what if I told you there's a profound path to reclaim that control? A powerful way to fortify your inner world so deeply that the slings and arrows of everyday life simply bounce off, leaving your peace of mind undisturbed, your core serenity intact. What if there existed an ancient secret, a wisdom honed and refined over 2 millennia, offering not just fleeting resilience, but an unshakable inner calm, a profound and lasting sense of sovereignty over your own emotions, regardless of what the external world throws at you? Imagine a truly transformative shift. Instead of reacting impulsively to every provocation, you respond deliberately with intention and wisdom. Instead of feeling overwhelmed and helpless, you feel grounded, centered, and powerful. Instead of allowing external events to dictate your internal state, you become the unwavering master of your own emotional domain, the architect of your own joy. This isn't some fantastical notion conjured from a contemporary self-help guru's latest bestseller, nor is it merely aspirational thinking. This is the enduring, battle-tested legacy of a man who knew true hardship, a former slave named Epictetus, who rose to become one of the most respected and influential Stoic philosophers of his time. He understood firsthand the brutal realities of life, the unpredictable nature of fate, and the fundamental human desire for tranquility amidst chaos. And he distilled his profound insights into a remarkably concise, yet infinitely powerful guide, a small handbook he famously called the Enchiridion. Think of the Enchiridion not as a dusty, academic relic confined to university libraries, but as an ancient, yet surprisingly cutting-edge, operating manual for the human mind, meticulously crafted to help you navigate the very same emotional turbulence we face today, albeit with different superficial manifestations. It's a battle-tested blueprint for developing a robust inner resilience, a practical framework for seeing the world clearly, and for truly understanding, once and for all, what is unequivocally within your control and what is irrevocably beyond it. And here's the crucial part, the promise that makes all the difference. We're not about to embark on a boring, abstract philosophy lecture filled with obscure terminology, tedious historical debates, or irrelevant theoretical discussions. Absolutely not. This journey into Epictetus's profound wisdom is a practical, hands-on expedition. We're going to unlock his timeless insights and translate them directly into actionable strategies, real-world tools you can immediately apply to those very scenarios we just described: the soul-crushing traffic, the difficult emails, the frustrating delays, the unexpected disappointments. This is about equipping you with the mental toolkit to face modern life's relentless challenges with poise, unwavering clarity, and an unshakable sense of self. This is your personal invitation to discover how a 2,000-year-old handbook, penned by a man who overcame unimaginable adversity, can be your ultimate guide to modern resilience and lasting peace. It's time to stop letting fleeting external events dictate your happiness. It's time to finally reclaim your inner peace and emotional freedom. Get ready to truly understand and then actively implement the ancient wisdom that promises you can finally be the true master of your own happiness, no matter the circumstances. We're going to show you how to build that inner fortress, brick by practical brick, throughout this series. Hello and welcome. There's a quiet power in ancient wisdom, a kind of enduring resonance that cuts through the noise of our modern world. And for me, few things embody that truth as profoundly as a slender volume, a small but mighty book penned almost 2 millennia ago by a man who started life as a slave and rose to become one of history's most influential philosophers. The book I'm talking about is called the Enchiridion by Epictetus. Now, Enchiridion is an old Greek word, and its meaning is deceptively simple: the handbook or the manual. It's literally a small book you can hold in your hand, a pocket guide to life distilled from the profound teachings of Stoicism. But don't let the ancient title or the philosophical label fool you. This isn't some dusty academic text reserved for university lecture halls. Far from it. This is a framework, a practical instruction manual for navigating the often chaotic, unpredictable, and downright overwhelming reality of being human. I found the Enchiridion during a period in my life that, looking back, felt like an endless knot of anxiety and uncertainty. Perhaps you've been there too. It was a time when the world seemed to spin faster than I could keep up. My days were a blur of commitments, expectations, and a constant, low-level hum of dread. Decisions, even small ones, felt monumental. My mind, instead of being a tool, had become a relentless, self-critiquing talk show host, broadcasting doubts and worst-case scenarios 24/7. Sleep was a luxury, often interrupted by a mind that refused to power down, replaying past conversations, rehearsing future failures, and generally just creating elaborate tapestries of what-ifs. I remember feeling this profound sense of losing control, not just over external circumstances, which is an illusion anyway, but over my own internal landscape. My emotions felt like wild horses, pulling me in directions I didn't want to go. Every piece of news felt like a personal attack, every social interaction a potential minefield. I was searching, desperately, for something to ground me, something to give me a sense of direction amidst the swirling currents of life. I tried everything: meditation apps, self-help books that promised instant happiness, elaborate journaling practices, even just trying to think positive, which, as anyone who's truly struggled knows, can feel like putting a tiny band-aid on a gaping wound. Nothing seemed to stick. The relief was always temporary, like trying to catch water with a sieve. Then, almost by chance, a friend recommended the Enchiridion. My first thought was, an ancient Greek philosopher. What could he possibly know about my modern-day overwhelm, my career anxieties, my digital fatigue? But there was a quiet insistence in my friend's voice, a genuine belief in the book's power, that made me pick it up. And what I found within its pages wasn't abstract philosophical jargon, but something startlingly, refreshingly pragmatic. It wasn't about airy-fairy ideals. It was about nuts and bolts, day-to-day strategies for living a more peaceful, more purposeful life. Epictetus, through his teachings, offered not just ideas, but actionable tools. He didn't tell me what to feel, but how to think about what I was feeling, how to respond to the world around me, rather than merely reacting. The core of his wisdom, what we now call Stoicism, isn't about being emotionless or stoic in the modern sense of the word. It's about understanding the fundamental truth of what is and isn't within our control. It's about cultivating inner resilience, distinguishing between what truly matters and what is merely noise, and focusing our precious energy where it can make a real difference. It was like finding the missing manual for my own operating system. Suddenly, the swirling chaos began to settle. I started to understand that much of my anxiety stemmed from trying to control things that were fundamentally outside my power: other people's opinions, global events, the past, the future. And by letting go of that futile struggle, by reorienting my focus to my own judgments, my own actions, my own character, a profound sense of calm began to emerge. It wasn't an overnight transformation, mind you. This isn't magic. It's practice, it's consistent effort, it's a daily commitment to self-awareness and intentional living. But the framework was there, concrete and reliable. And that's precisely the intention behind this series. I want to take this extraordinary, timeless wisdom from the Enchiridion and translate it, humanize it, and make it profoundly relevant for you today. We're going to unpack Epictetus's insights, chapter by chapter, concept by concept, but through a lens that speaks directly to the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. This isn't going to be a dry academic lecture. Think of it as a conversation, a guided journey. We'll explore how these ancient principles can help us navigate everything from social media overwhelm and career pressure to personal relationships and the pursuit of genuine happiness. We'll look at real-world examples, practical exercises, and modern interpretations that make this powerful philosophy accessible and applicable, whether you're new to Stoicism or looking to deepen your understanding. My hope is that, just as this small book provided me with a compass when I felt adrift, it can offer you a similar sense of clarity, control, and peace. It's about building a robust inner fortress, not against the world, but within yourself, so that you can face whatever life throws your way with wisdom, courage, and tranquility. So, if you're ready to discover a practical framework for regaining control, cultivating inner peace, and living a more intentional life, then join me as we delve into the pocket-sized guide to life that is the Enchiridion. Let's begin this journey together. Chapter 1. The one thing you must understand: the dichotomy of control. Welcome to the Enchiridion Unlocked, a journey into the timeless wisdom of Epictetus, a man whose profound insights, born from the crucible of adversity, continue to illuminate the path to a life of freedom, tranquility, and purpose. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by external pressures, frustrated by other people's actions, or anxious about an uncertain future, you're about to discover the most fundamental, liberating truth Epictetus ever taught. This isn't just a philosophical concept, it's the master key, the absolute cornerstone upon which all other Stoic practices are built. Understand this, truly integrate it into your being, and you will unlock a profound shift in your perspective and your experience of life itself. This foundational principle is known as the dichotomy of control. It's elegantly simple, yet astonishingly powerful. Epictetus implores us, right at the very beginning of his Enchiridion, to carefully distinguish between two categories of things: those that are up to us and those that are not up to us. It sounds straightforward, doesn't it? But a closer look reveals its revolutionary potential. Most of our suffering, Epictetus suggests, stems from confusing these two categories, from striving desperately to control what is inherently beyond our grasp, and neglecting the immense power we possess over what truly belongs to us. So, what exactly is up to us? Epictetus is crystal clear: it is our judgments, our intentions, and our actions. Let's break that down. First, our judgments. This refers to how we perceive the world, the meaning we assign to events, the opinions we form, and the value we place on things. An event itself is neutral. It's our interpretation of it that causes us distress or peace. For instance, receiving a critical email is an external event. What is up to you is whether you judge it as a personal attack, a constructive piece of feedback, or merely information to be processed. Your initial reaction, the story you tell yourself about it, the emotion you attach to it, that is entirely within your domain. This isn't about denying reality or burying your head in the sand. It's about owning your internal narrative, recognizing that your perception is your power. Second, our intentions. These are our motives, our underlying will, the moral compass guiding our choices. Do you intend to act with kindness, with integrity, with diligence, with courage? Regardless of the outcome, the intention behind your actions is always yours to command. You can choose to approach a difficult conversation with a genuine desire for understanding, even if the other person reacts poorly. You can choose to pursue a goal with your full effort and a noble purpose, regardless of whether you ultimately succeed or fail. Your inner character, your commitment to virtue, these are the sovereign territories of your soul. Third, our actions. These are the choices you make, the effort you apply, the steps you take, how you behave in any given situation. You choose to get out of bed, to prepare a meal, to study, to speak, to listen, to practice, to learn. Even in the dire circumstances, you retain the ability to choose your response, to exert effort, to direct your energy. While the results of your actions might not be up to you, the actions themselves, the moment-to-moment decisions and applications of your will absolutely are. Now, let's turn to the other side of the coin, what is not up to us. This category encompasses everything external to your inner world. Think of it: your health, your reputation, your wealth, your physical appearance, the weather, economic conditions, the past, future events that haven't happened yet, and most crucially, other people's opinions, actions, and reactions. Consider your health. You can eat well, exercise, get enough sleep, and take preventive measures. These are actions up to you. But whether you contract an illness, suffer an injury, or simply age is ultimately not up to you. You can influence it, but you cannot guarantee it. Similarly, your reputation. You can act with integrity and kindness, those are your actions. But whether others choose to speak well of you, or indeed choose to misinterpret you or spread rumors, is entirely beyond your control. Their judgments are their judgments, not yours. Other people's actions are also fundamentally beyond your control. You cannot force someone to agree with you, to like you, to behave rationally, or to treat you fairly. Their choices are theirs alone, just as your choices are yours. The Stoics tell us that trying to control these external things is like trying to grasp water with your bare hands. It will always slip through your fingers, leaving you frustrated and exhausted. We spend so much emotional energy on things like trying to change someone's mind who doesn't want to be changed. What is up to you in this video game? You control your character's choices, where to move, which abilities to use, what dialogue options to select, which quests to accept, how much effort to put into mastering a skill, how to react to an enemy attack, or how to strategically position yourself in a challenging encounter. Your character's judgments about the situation, their intentions behind an action, and the specific actions they take, these are all directly responsive to your input. You decide your character's strategy, their moral alignment, their dedication to exploring the map or completing a mission. What is not up to you in this video game? You don't control the game's underlying code, its physics, its glitches, the random number generator for loot drops, or the fundamental rules of its world. You don't control the other players in a multiplayer game, their skill level, their decisions, their attitude, or whether they decide to cooperate or betray you. You don't control server lag, unexpected disconnections, or whether the developers release a patch that changes your favorite ability. You certainly don't control the weather patterns within the game, or whether a non-player character NPC decides to give you a quest or a sarcastic remark. Think about how much frustration arises in gaming when we try to force an outcome that's beyond our control. Yelling at the screen because another player made a bad move, raging about a low-probability item not dropping, or getting angry that the game's physics engine glitched. While understandable, these reactions don't change the game's code or the other player's behavior. They only deplete your own energy and diminish your enjoyment of the experience. Similarly, in the game of life, true freedom and tranquility come from focusing 100% of your energy on what is up to you. Just as a skilled gamer learns to master their character's abilities and make the best possible choices within the game's given rules, a wise person learns to master their own judgments, intentions, and actions, regardless of the external circumstances. This is where your power lies. This is where your agency resides. Epictetus isn't asking you to be passive or indifferent to the world. Far from it. He's inviting you to engage with life fiercely but intelligently. To understand that the only battle you can truly win is the one within your own mind, the one where you assert control over your inner landscape. By doing so, you cease to be a puppet of external events and become the sovereign ruler of your own experience. This distinction is more than just a theory, it's a practical exercise in liberation. It provides an immediate filter through which to process every challenge, every desire, every fear. Is this thing I'm worrying about, this thing I'm striving for, this thing I'm angry about, is it truly within my sphere of control? If not, then why am I investing my precious mental and emotional resources into it? Redirect that energy. Channel it towards what you can control: your attitude, your effort, your integrity. This is why the dichotomy of control is the master key. It doesn't solve all your problems, but it gives you the map to navigate them. It doesn't eliminate adversity, but it gives you the impenetrable armor to face it. It teaches you where to place your energy for maximum impact, for enduring peace. In the subsequent chapters, we will explore how this fundamental understanding underpins every other Stoic practice, from managing emotions to finding purpose. But for now, take this lesson to heart, recognize what is yours, and let go of what is not. In that recognition lies the very essence of freedom and the promise of a tranquil, unshakable mind. Chapter 2. It's not the event, it's the story you tell. Welcome back to our journey through Epictetus's The Enchiridion. In our previous chapter, we laid the groundwork, understanding the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. Now, we dive deeper into the profound implications of that distinction, particularly concerning our emotional well-being. Chapter 2 isn't just a concept, it's a paradigm shift, titled "It's Not the Event, It's the Story You Tell." This chapter is perhaps one of the most liberating sections of Epictetus's work, challenging us to examine the very source of our suffering. The core idea is encapsulated in one of his most famous declarations: men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. Read that again, or rather, let it resonate. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. This isn't just a clever turn of phrase, it's a blueprint for emotional freedom. Epictetus is telling us, quite plainly, that the external events themselves, the cancellations, the criticisms, the misfortunes, are not inherently good or bad. They simply are. Our distress, our anger, our sadness springs not from these objective facts, but from the subjective interpretations, the judgments, and the stories we construct around them in our minds. It's an empowering assertion, placing the locus of control squarely within us, not in the capricious winds of fate. To truly grasp the weight of this idea, let's walk through a common, relatable scenario. Imagine you've poured weeks, perhaps months, of your energy into a significant project at work. You've researched, collaborated, presented, and finally, you're on the cusp of launching it. Then, suddenly, an email lands in your inbox, or you receive a call the project has been canceled. No further explanation, just a terse notification. Now, let's observe how two different individuals experiencing this identical external event might react based on the story they choose to tell themselves. Perspective 1, the catastrophic judgment. For this individual, the news isn't just the project has been canceled. Oh no, their internal narrative immediately spirals. They might think this is a disaster. All my hard work was for nothing. I've wasted so much time. This proves I'm not good enough. My efforts are never valued. My boss must think I'm incompetent. This will hurt my career. I'll never get promoted now. What's the point of even trying? I'm so angry, so frustrated, so utterly defeated. This is unfair. It always happens to me. Their body language might slump. Their mood darkens considerably, affecting their interactions with colleagues and their productivity for the rest of the day or even the week. They might stew in resentment, complain bitterly, or retreat into self-pity. The cancellation of one project has become an indictment of their entire professional worth, a prediction of future failures, and a source of profound emotional distress. The event was a canceled project. The story they told themselves was one of personal catastrophe and existential dread. Perspective 2, the neutral, objective view. Now, consider another individual. They received the exact same email, the identical news: the project has been canceled. Their internal monologue takes a distinctly different path. They might acknowledge, okay, the project I was working on has been canceled. This is a change of plans. Their initial reaction might be a flicker of disappointment, perhaps, but immediately their mind shifts. They might think, what are the implications of this? What's the reason? Is there a new priority? What resources are now freed up? How can I reallocate my time and skills effectively? This is an opportunity to pivot, to learn from what we did, and apply it elsewhere. My value isn't tied to a single project's success or failure, but to my ability to adapt and contribute. This individual might take a moment to process, then calmly inquire about the reasons, seek clarification on next steps, and proactively offer their expertise for new initiatives. Their mood remains relatively stable. They might feel a brief dip, but it doesn't consume them. They haven't let the cancellation of a project define their worth or dictate their emotional state. The event was a canceled project. The story they told themselves was one of adaptation, opportunity, and objective problem-solving. The difference in their emotional experience, their subsequent actions, and their overall well-being is stark. Yet, the external reality, the thing, was precisely the same. The suffering, or lack thereof, stemmed entirely from the view they took of it. This brings us to a crucial practical technique that can fundamentally alter your emotional landscape, inserting a pause between an event and your reaction. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but its power is immense. Most of us operate on autopilot. An event occurs, a criticism, a delay, an unexpected bill, and our brains, in their efficiency, immediately jump to a pre-programmed, often negative, judgment and an associated emotional response. The pause is that conscious, deliberate micro-moment you insert into this automatic chain reaction. Instead of event to immediate, judgment to emotion, we aim for event to pause to deliberate, judgment to chosen emotion. When something happens that would typically trigger an automatic negative response, train yourself to just stop. Take a breath, count to 3, or simply ask yourself, what is actually happening here, objectively? What story am I starting to tell myself? This brief interlude creates a vital space. It's in this gap that you reclaim your agency. You move from being a passenger on the roller coaster of your automatic thoughts to the driver who can choose which track to take. This pause allows you to challenge your initial catastrophic judgments and consciously choose a more neutral, objective, or even empowering interpretation. It gives you the power to literally author a different story. This ancient wisdom of Epictetus isn't merely philosophical musing. It forms the bedrock of highly effective modern psychological interventions, most notably cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. If you've ever explored CBT, you'll immediately recognize the striking parallels. At its heart, CBT posits that our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are inextricably linked. It emphasizes that it's often not the events themselves, but our interpretations and appraisals of those events, what Epictetus calls our views, that lead to emotional distress and maladaptive behaviors. CBT therapists work with clients to identify what they call automatic negative thoughts or cognitive distortions, those immediate, often irrational, judgments we make about situations. Sound familiar? Epictetus's views are essentially these cognitive distortions. The techniques employed in CBT, such as cognitive restructuring, are direct descendants of Epictetus's insights. Cognitive restructuring involves learning to identify, challenging, and ultimately reframe those automatic negative thoughts. It teaches you to pause, examine the evidence for and against a particular thought, consider alternative explanations, and then consciously choose a more balanced and realistic perspective. It's precisely the process of inserting that pause and choosing to author a different, more constructive story. So, when Epictetus tells us that we are disturbed not by things, but by our views, he's not just offering abstract wisdom. He's laying the philosophical groundwork for a practical, verifiable method of improving mental well-being that has been scientifically validated millennia later. This connection reinforces the timeless power and practical applicability of the Enchiridion. The profound message of Chapter 2 is this: you are not a helpless victim of circumstance or emotion. You are the author of your emotional experience. The world will continuously throw events your way, some pleasant, some neutral, some genuinely challenging. But your suffering is not predetermined by these events. It is determined by the story you choose to tell yourself about them. By cultivating awareness, by practicing the pause, and by consciously examining your judgments, you reclaim your power. You gain the incredible ability to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs not as a passive recipient, but as an active, resilient creator of your inner world. This is not about denying reality, it's about choosing your response to it.